genre.
Doctor Who The Long Way Round, the weekly podcast where we review and discuss every episode of Doctor Who, one doctor at a time. I am Scott Corelli.
I'm Cassandra Fredrickson.
And I'm Nick Jimenez.
Today on the show, we will be discussing Deep Breath, the 12th Doctor's first story. This is the second time that we're discussing it. The first time that we discussed it all together was when it originally aired. Back in... When was that?
It feels like a million years ago.
2014, August 23rd, 2014.
Wow.
Yeah. So that was the last time we talked about it. And it's and now we're talking about it. We were talking about it like as it first aired, and now we're talking about it as sort of part of this long way around thing, because now we're like a season into the 13th Doctor, so the 12th Doctor is now sort of behind us, and we're looking back at his era as a completed thing. And so I thought it was about time that we started talking about these episodes again. So yeah, written by Stephen Moffat, directed by Ben Wheatley, which is weird in retrospect. It didn't feel weird
Director
at the time, but now it feels weird. Yeah, it feels weird. So yeah, Deep Breath. I remember at the time, you guys were both pretty underwhelmed with this episode, and I liked it a lot. And so I'm curious if that has changed at all, as far as how you feel about the 12th Doctor's first story, or as a freshly regenerated story. You know, how does all of that play for you guys this time around?
This, as the youth say, slaps.
Yeah, right?
This is so good.
Yeah. Okay, cool.
I love this time around. This was awesome.
Yeah, man. It's a really touching regeneration story. Like, probably maybe like the most touching. Because like all the other ones are really just about like, wow, what a weird thing that he's a new guy, and like, oh, he's wacky, and like, oh, he's so weird, and everyone's weirded out by him. And there's lots of that in this too, but then it uses that to like tell a touching story about like who we really are as people, and what that means, and how, you know, trauma can change you, and that doesn't mean that you're not the same person, you know? And like, that's just like, oh my God, I love this. What about you, Nick?
Yeah, and I think it really speaks to, I think this is when like Clara became a great companion, and it almost took this story, it almost took all of 11 to equip her to be who she becomes in this episode. And who, I don't know, like the Doctor's so vulnerable in this story in a way that he isn't in any episode, even a regeneration episode, where he's usually like, you know, becoming a new person and all that fun stuff. And yeah, so yeah, I really did enjoy it. I think it just becomes like, I think maybe when it airs as a premiere comes with so much baggage because you're hungry for the show, and that comes with expectations.
Right.
And also it being like a regeneration story, like that has to, you know, you have all these, again, like expectations. And so I think now free of that, and now that the era is gone and I can just enjoy the beginning of 12 knowing where the end is. I this is like I really liked it this time.
Yeah. It's it really is a, you know, it's a banger. It slaps. It definitely slaps.
I had no idea that our friends Vastra, Strax, and Jenny were called the Paternoster Gang.
I did know that, but I prefer our name for them, which is the Why Are We Here Brigade.
Yeah.
Even though I did quite enjoy them in this one.
Oh my god, no. Every time they were on screen was my favorite scene. Like,
yeah. Why do we like them now? What's happening?
I don't know.
Because time.
Yeah, I guess so.
I do remember us really liking them in this episode the first time we watched it, and then they never show up again.
Yeah. Yeah.
So that makes
they never
me sad.
return. You know, they do have a series of Big Finish adventures though.
Oh no.
Yeah, they do.
I gotta, yeah. That's the thing I'm gonna check out.
Yeah, they sure do.
You could put those characters anywhere, on a train, in the desert.
Interspecies sword lesbians. That's my jam right there. I don't know why we weren't. I don't know, but I'm excited to like rediscover them as we go forward.
I think what our problem was that like we didn't understand what purpose they had, what their purpose was in the show, and we kept waiting for like their purpose to reveal itself. And
hence the name.
And then when they never right, and then when they never showed up again, it's like now we're like watching it and we're realizing that they really had no purpose. They were just characters. Like it was just like, yeah, no, they show up occasionally. Like it's just a thing. Mm-hmm. But I really like this. I love that the first image in this episode is a dinosaur because Capaldi is a dinosaur.
Oh wow. I thought about that.
Like this whole episode is about how he's like old and wrinkly and gray. Mm-hmm. And the first thing that they show is a dinosaur. Oh, that's good. That's really good.
Just storming across. Yeah, just the episode. It's such a beautiful episode, and I think Ben Wheatley has such a fun time capturing. There's just something so whimsical and also melancholy about a Tyrannosaurus walking through Victorian London.
Mm-hmm.
That dinosaur is just chilling. Like it's just walking around for like a while. And then, you know, like it catches on fire and dies later. But like for a solid like day and a half or something, like that dinosaur is just like trolling around London, just like minding its own business.
As you do.
What's all this? What's all this then?
And everyone's just like going about their lives. Like, that's weird, but you know, it's not going to affect my day. I've still got to go to work.
Stiff up a lip.
Yeah.
Right.
The only part of this, there's only one part of this story that I don't like. And it's the stupid noise that the sound effect that happens when Vastra knocks out the doctor. It's like this weird cartoon bonk sound effect. I was like, why is that a thing? Yeah, I don't know. Because she doesn't even knock him on the head, right? It's just like she just like knocks him out with like a Vulcan mind meld kind of deal, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, but it still makes like a cartoon bonking sound effect. So weird. Weird choice. But I love the doctor being like, I'll keep you safe. Don't you worry. I'll get you home no matter what I do. And then it just catches on fire and dies.
So sad.
It is really sad, but also it's really funny because the dinosaur isn't real. So it's fine.
I know.
The timing is funny. What happened is sad. It's like Firefly.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. It's just like Firefly. But I love that this is a dinosaur murder mystery. Like, what other show are you going to get a dinosaur murder mystery? Like, that's kind of next level. That's
who murdered this dinosaur?
Yeah, it's maybe the greatest thing Moffat's ever done. Is he ever going to top dinosaur murder mystery? I don't know.
We'll see with Dracula.
Oh yeah, that's true.
I think it's a testament to Jenna Coleman's performance that we understand where Clara's frustration is coming from. Like, this could easily be like, as a fan, this could easily be like, get on with it. It's the doctor. Can we get over it? You know, but like, you're really, I'm empathetic with her this whole episode, and it's powerful when she,
Yeah, no, that's really good because you guys definitely were not the first time we watched this. I was definitely like, oh no, don't you get it? It's like for New Who people, and you guys were like, he's the Doctor, just get over it. What's wrong with you? Like you guys were so mad.
Well, we didn't like Clara then.
Exactly,
We do now.
yeah.
Yeah, that's true. That is true. Fair enough. So maybe this is really like about Clara more than anything else. It's sort of like it's like this episode, the thing that's changed isn't the Doctor, it's Clara for you guys.
For sure. She's allowed to just be she was a bauble for so much of Series 7.
Yeah.
And,
she was,
and it was like
the mysterious girl. What was the mystery girl? What was her?
Impossible girl.
The Impossible Girl.
Yeah, right.
How could one girl be this smart and awesome and cool and in my show? and
because
then,
I wrote her that way.
Yeah. And in this one, it's finally, she's given something to do and something compelling to act against and deal with.
Yeah.
And it has nothing to do with some kooky space puzzle philosophy mystery prophecy thing. It's just like, why is my friend different?
Yeah, and he doesn't even have to go crazy and try and strangle her to death in order to pull that off.
Yeah.
It's just Sixth Doctor.
Well, but he let us know who he was right off the bat.
Yeah. What happened to my friend? He tried to kill me.
Oh.
This time he's just like, what happened to my friend? He's old.
Yeah, like he's old and he's not warm the way that he was. He's not like there for me right now, and that I need him, and he's not. I'm looking right at him, but he's not there.
Yeah, I also liked that change where it's like the idea that the companion never really needs the Doctor as much as the Doctor needs the companion, and I really like that. I like that sort of revelation here of like 11 when 11 calls her. And it's just like he needs you, man. Like he really does. It's scary. It's real scary. It's not a fun time every time this happens. So if you could just like be kind of chill, that would be good.
It's so sad thinking about 11's first moments and 12's first moments in hindsight. Like 11 had that kind of fairy tale beginning with young Amelia Pond, and 12, it's like he's out in the snow, he's cold, he's confused, there's a dinosaur walking around.
Yeah.
He's wrestling a homeless man for a jacket.
Sarah Jane's husband.
Oh wow.
Oh.
Yeah, that was her like real life in real life, her husband. He was playing the tramp. So
Aww.
yeah, I there's like a lot of the dialogue. It's also just like in general. I mean, Moffat's dialogue can be pretty clever in general, but like I was just sort of in awe of like the connections that he was making, like just like clever wordplay connections and things like that. Like he was talking about like one, I love the bit earlier where he's like, don't look in the mirror. The mirror is very angry. And it's like he's talking about himself, like he's talking about his face. And then like later when he sees himself again in the alley mirror, he is talking about his eyebrows, and he's like everything else is fine, but the eyebrows are like they're very cross. He's like it's like they're independently crossed, like they would want to set up a independent state of eyebrows. Oh my god, I'm Scottish. like that's so funny. Oh man, I just making all of those connections there is just so I don't know. I just think that's so clever.
Yeah. The whole episode, it's so easy to, like anything you care about, it's so easy to rag on and criticize, but you forget how delightful his writing could be when he was really on and really having fun and telling a good story.
Yeah. And it really says something when you think about how different 11 and 12 are as characters, and how like, he was show running this series, and he created his perfect Doctor with the 11th Doctor, the Doctor he always wanted to see, and he did it, and he finished it, and then he made another one. And it was like, now what kind of doctor do I want to see? And it's this guy, and it's different, but it's still the Doctor. And I'm just kind of in awe of his ability to completely reboot his thinking on the entire series, because the 12th Doctor era doesn't really feel anything like the 11th Doctor era. This is the only episode that feels anything even remotely close to that. It's very much a transition episode where you start off with the sort of bombast of the 11th Doctor era, and then you end in like more of a solemn, quiet place like the 12th Doctor's era it usually is. And it works very, very well, and it's just masterfully done. And, I think that he learned a lot in that period of time between the 11th Doctor and 12th Doctor, like just sort of realizing, I think tying up the 11th Doctor made him realize how much he missed the mark, throughout his tenure in the 11th Doctor, and like how like, oh wow, this really is a mess, and I'm doing my best to clean it up, but like this really got away from me. And I think that he went into this being like, maybe I'll just write Doctor Who. Like, instead of writing my Doctor Who, maybe I'll just write Doctor Who. And I think that was a really smart way of doing it. And I loved this. I think it's great. Also, this episode is where we got our name for this from. The Long Way Round.
Aw.
Yeah, that's from this episode.
Is it?
Yeah. He tells the clockwork people, the half... Yeah, the half man, whatever his name is.
And that feeds into why it comes back up again in Day of the Doctor.
Yeah. Yeah. He's like, well, yeah, I guess it is from the Day of the Doctor, but then it's like, he repeats it here, but anyway. Oh,
right. Day of the Doctor was before this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
That's where I always thought it came
That's right. It must have just been one of those things where he just like was constantly making references to other doctors, and maybe that's what he was doing there. Yeah, the bit at the end of this, and that was like one of the real like sticking points for you guys when we originally watched this. The idea or the hint that the Doctor may have killed this robot guy, pushed him onto the spire thing. And they have that line about like, which one of us is lying about our basic programming? And then the next thing that we see is like, he's dead on the spire. And I remember last time we did this, you guys like had a real issue that like there was even a question about whether or not the Doctor would kill this guy. How do you guys feel about this now?
I think that it's it makes sense in the context of Capaldi's run that he might have done this thing. Like, I think I'm more forgiving of it now because, like, this is his first act as the Doctor, and then what does that mean for him going forward?
Yeah.
So, yeah.
So, like, ellipses.
I think I'm okay. Oh, sorry.
Oh, yeah. Just like it's an uneasy answer because his first season is kind of an uneasy answer. It's ended up being about the search. He doesn't even really find out. I feel like we don't really get 12th Doctor until like season 9.
Right. Yeah. Yeah, they do the thing that they kind of had always planned with the 6th Doctor here.
Yeah.
Which like,
I don't love.
Yeah, let him grow and find himself over the course of a season instead
I think that I'm
right
more
away.
okay with the ambiguity of it this time. Than I was at first.
Yeah. I actually felt that it read less ambiguous this time than last time. Like, to me, watching it this time, it felt very obvious to me that the robot killed himself, but also that the Doctor convinced him to do it. So it's like they both did the thing in a way.
Yeah, they're both at fault.
Yeah, they're both at fault. And that's kind of how it read to me this time. Rather than like, I don't think he pushed him, but I think he convinced him to jump.
Do it.
Yeah.
Come on, just do it.
Yeah. So I like that. Really liked that phone call. I really liked 12 just asking her to see him. Please just see me, which is that was good, and the hugging was nice.
Sure.
And then we get that thing with Missy, and
hell yeah,
it's so funny that there was a time where we were like, I don't know, maybe she's not the master, and it's just like
it's so obvious now.
It's so obvious that she's the master. We're just like, oh man, like the thing where she's like, welcome to heaven, and then she like growls and snaps at him. And I'm like, oh man, you're the master, like no doubt. It's so funny in retrospect. These mysteries that are like really obviously not mysteries. But yeah, it was nice seeing Missy again.
And it was just a reminder of what a hell of an entrance that was for like Michelle Gomez and that character, and just kind of like this season of like, we're doing this, by the way. Yeah,
for sure. In her like whole like Mary Poppins uniform.
Yep.
Which it's such a in an episode, we were just talking about uneasy transitions or like, who am I? Here's a character who just like kicks out of the gate. This is who I am.
Yeah. No, I really love that. And I love that not only are we getting the beginning of the Capaldi era, but we're getting the beginning of the Missy era, because we see her end also.
Yes. Oh, yeah. That's so good. Wow.
I know. Yeah, right? I know. So good. It's all so good. Oh, man. The Capaldi era. Wow.
Get on it.
Man, I know.
If you haven't.
I know, totally.
I just want to binge watch it all.
I know, right? Man.
Yeah, like the fact that there's so many new Who fans who haven't even seen just Missy as a character. Like, that's such like a vital part of the show to me, and what I like about it now. You know?
Yeah. I really, really love that speech that Vastra gives to Clara about the Doctor's regeneration. And like, I liked it before, but I was kind of just blown away by it this time of like, just the Moffat like very clearly using Vastra to explain to Matt Smith fans that it's all going to be okay and this is normal.
Because he was called the 11th Doctor.
Yeah. Well, and it's because, the 11th hour was a big like sticking point for a lot of people. It was like that was where a lot of people jumped on. It was like a lightning rod episode. And I mean, I know so many people who don't like any Doctor except 11. Like they don't even like 10. 10 feels old fashioned to them.
What?
Yeah, I know.
Wow.
Yeah.
He's not floppy enough.
Right. Yeah. I mean, I think part of it has to do with the effects of the Russell T Davies era.
Yeah.
Being pretty cheesy most of the time. Not quite up to snuff. But yeah, it's definitely a thing. And then I think that most of them, I would argue, probably jump ship with the regeneration, because they're like, I have no interest in watching a show about an old man. And that's a bummer, because man, they're missing out on some of the best Doctor Who of the modern era. Because man, I am pumped to get back into this. And I remember not liking Into the Dalek, but watching that trailer for next time, I was like, I'm ready to go into the Dalek. Let's do it.
Welcome back.
Yeah. I'm pretty pumped about it. Yeah, no, this was so fun. It's just a really good regeneration story. And now that we've seen all of them that exist currently, now that we've talked about them, what is your favorite, post regeneration story?
Oh, geez. That's a hard question.
I know, right?
What was 10's called?
Really dumb. Christmas Invasion.
Christmas Invasion. Yeah, probably that one.
Yeah.
Oh, I just remember because I was really against, because 9 was my first regeneration, and I was like, "What? No, who's this guy?" I was so skeptical. Like, oh, they just got a better looking actor. That's so lame. Like, Eccleston was so good. And then just immediately being like, who's this actor? Who is this character? This is so fun. This is so cool.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, that's true. It's really good.
I think for me, it's still 11th Hour. Like, that's the one that I come back to. I think that's the episode of Classic Who I've seen, or not Classic Who, but New Who that I've seen the most.
Yeah.
It's pretty great.
It is pretty great. It's pretty great for sure. I
could show my parents 11th Hour, and I know they'd have like a really good time.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think it might still be the 11th Hour for me as well. And I think that it's the combination. There's a lot of stuff in the middle with Prisoner Zero and all of that stuff that I'm like, meh, but it doesn't quite hold up as well. But I really like the beginning with Amelia, and I love the end with his like "I am the doctor" speech.
Oh yeah, yep.
Of just like I'm the doctor, deal with it. I love all of that. So like those two things are so strong that I think that that's still my favorite as well. But this might be a close second, I think, because it is very, very good.
I like how like contemplative Capaldi's like "Who am I?" sort of monologue in front of the mirror is compared to Matt Smith's like very declarative, like, "It's me, here I am."
Well, I think it's because Matt Smith's doctor is, as we learn in Day of the Doctor, is the final regeneration of that doctor of that regeneration cycle. So he's sort of like the culmination doctor.
Yeah.
And then Capaldi is a reboot in a way. Mm-hmm. And so it's just like, well, who am I now? Right? I thought I was the culmination of all the things that I had ever been. And now I'm yet another thing. So like, what is this now? Mm-hmm. You know? So like I like that. I like that, that it works that way. It's kind of cool.
Yeah. There's like a tiredness to him that's so engaging of like, I really have to do this again. Like how many times do I have to put myself through this again?
Right.
And what for?
Right. Yeah, I really like that. But for those of you playing along at home, the season 8 episodes will be The Sensorites, The Tomb of the Cybermen, The Colony in Space, Pyramids of Mars, Arc of Infinity, The Mysterious Planet, The Greatest Show in the Galaxy, Seasons of Fear, Empty Child, Dr. Dances, Impossible Planet, Satan Pit, Vincent and the Doctor, and Into the Dalek.
Jeez Louise.
Damn.
Yeah. Stay tuned, everyone.
Watch this space.
And make space for all of us in your hearts.
For Jamie and Tegan.
Yeah.
And Susan.
Anyway. All right. We'll talk to you next time, whenever that is. Bye, everybody.